when I've been thinking about what are the skill sets, we've already talked a little bit about, sort of empathy and collaboration and having a sort of we collective worldview. What are the other skills that you think we've traditionally termed feminine that are such a part of either the sustainability movement or movements as a whole? That
Well, I think we touched on one, which is compassion.
compassion.
Um, I think, from a Buddhist perspective, non-reactiveness, not feeling when the impulse to act comes up, to to experience the impulse, to sit with it. I think there is in a very male-dominated world, we have the impulse and we act upon it without even thinking about it first, or
Mm-hmm.
feeling it, I should say. Women have a greater capacity to feel than men, just based on the way they're built, and how we all come into this world through a woman. And so compassion and feeling and creating space. I mean, space generation is a very important component of this. And I guess what I mean by that is uh, not looking at everything on the basis of sort of carving out your territory, right? That there is space for everyone and every thought and every idea. Now, clearly, societies and movements need some kind of construct and architecture within which to operate and function. Uh, but yet, I think if we look at it as that there is space for everyone, then
Mm-hmm.
we will start to think in terms of the collective and the community. And then clearly the organizational structure, the organizing structures will fall and organize as they will. There will always be leaders, there will always be followers, but they'll
Yeah.
be working sort of in a harmonious way, as opposed to there's a winner and there's a loser.
Yeah.
So I guess it's about getting away from this notion of that there always has to be a winner and a loser.
Right. And what that makes me think of is scarcity versus abundance.
Exactly. Um, you know, the notion that more is better
Mm-hmm.
is a notion that we're discovering in our capitalistic society is the very the pursuit of that is the very thing that will crush us,
Yeah.
because it's kind of like it's kind of like climbing the mountain. You start at the base, and there's sort of infinite space at the base, and then you kind of climb to the next level, and you're plateauing, and there's another there's more infinite space. But the further you go up the mountain, you reach the tip of the mountain, and you're teetering at the top of that mountain by yourself. There's nowhere left to go except down, and so that is the natural sort of gravity of things. And I think that we need to think more about the base, the
Mm-hmm.
expansiveness of the plateaus, the infinite space that lives in those areas, as opposed to this constant trajectory towards some, more abundance, more accumulation, more consumption.
And that sort of fits in with the concept of mindfulness as well, which is,
Mhm.
we when I think of mindfulness in terms of Buddhism, but then also mindful of sort of a larger understanding of the beginning and end or the whole life cycle of whether it's a plastic fork in a fast food restaurant, or an automobile or whatever, that we're thinking, of this whole picture of the impact. And I think, again, um, to me, that total understanding of the impact at all levels is again the we. It's that traditionally feminine approach to being able to see how everything fits in together.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm. So as